The Navy had a problem. Actually, it had several. A submarine carrying 99 men had disappeared. There was no distress signal, no confirmed location, no wreckage. And now, the Atlantic Ocean had become the largest crime scene on Earth. But investigators weren't ready to give up, because hidden beneath the ocean was a secret weapon most Americans didn't even know existed. A vast network of underwater listening devices. And those devices may have captured the moment USS Scorpion died. At first, the recording sounded meaningless. Clicks, pops, strange underwater noises. The Atlantic Ocean is never silent. Whales, ships, earthquakes. Countless sounds echo through the depths every day. But analysts searching through the data noticed something unusual. A sequence of powerful acoustic events, several distinct sounds, close together, violent, sudden, and occurring around the exact time USS Scorpion vanished. Immediately, investigators focused on them, because if these sounds were connected to Scorpion, they might finally have a clue. But there was a problem. Nobody could agree on what the sounds meant. Some experts believed they represented a submarine collapsing under immense pressure. Others thought they indicated explosions. Others believed the sequence suggested multiple catastrophic failures occurring one after another. And that uncertainty would become a recurring theme throughout the entire investigation. Every clue seemed to create new questions. Every answer opened another mystery. Still, the recordings provided something investigators desperately needed: a starting point. Using advanced analysis, they narrowed down a search area. Not a precise location, but a region. A place where they believed Scorpion might have met its end. The search intensified. And this is where the story becomes almost unbelievable. Because the ocean floor where they were searching sat thousands of feet below the surface, nearly 2 miles down. A place of crushing pressure, permanent darkness, and temperatures just above freezing. Finding anything down there should have been nearly impossible. Yet somehow, the Navy was about to do exactly that. Months after Scorpion disappeared, investigators finally saw something. At first, it looked like a shadow, an odd shape resting on the ocean floor. Then more images arrived, and suddenly everyone realized what they were looking at. USS Scorpion. The submarine had been found, but instead of ending the mystery, the discovery made it worse. Much worse. The wreck was not intact. Pieces were scattered across the seabed. The hull showed severe damage. Sections appeared separated. Debris stretched across the ocean floor. It looked like a submarine that had experienced a catastrophic event. But what kind of event? That was the question. And the wreck wasn't providing an easy answer. Investigators pored over thousands of photographs. Every piece of debris became important. Every damaged section was analyzed. Experts argued endlessly, because depending on what detail you focused on, you could reach completely different conclusions. One group would say, "This proves a torpedo malfunction." Another would say, "No, this points to structural collapse." A third group would insist, "You're both wrong." And that's exactly why the USS Scorpion mystery remains alive today. Even after finding the submarine, nobody could fully explain how it died. Then investigators noticed something else, something deeply unsettling. Many of the clues seemed to contradict each other. One piece of evidence pointed in one direction. Another pointed somewhere else entirely. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle where half the pieces belong to a different puzzle. That's what this investigation felt like. Every breakthrough created fresh confusion. And the deeper investigators looked, the stranger things became. Some experts believed the submarine may have suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure. Others believed an internal explosion occurred. Both theories sounded reasonable, but neither fully explained everything visible in the wreckage. And that's when people started considering darker possibilities. Possibilities that stretched far beyond accidents. Possibilities involving America's greatest rival, the Soviet Union. Remember where we are, the Cold War. Both sides spying on each other. Both sides tracking submarines. Both sides preparing for a conflict nobody wanted. The idea that USS Scorpion could have encountered Soviet forces wasn't impossible. In fact, some people believed it was likely. Rumors began spreading. Whispers grew louder. Had Scorpion been attacked? Had a confrontation occurred beneath the Atlantic Ocean? And if so, would either government ever admit it? The theory exploded because it offered something people desperately wanted: a simple explanation, a clear villain, a reason. But there was a problem. Investigators couldn't find definitive evidence supporting the claim. Some clues seemed consistent with an attack, others didn't, and once again, the mystery refused to cooperate. Then came another shocking realization. The ocean floor itself might have distorted the evidence. Think about that. The submarine had plunged thousands of feet, experienced unimaginable pressure, struck the seabed, and remained there for months before being discovered. Some damage investigators were seeing may have occurred after the initial disaster, which meant separating cause from effect became incredibly difficult. What damage happened first? What damage happened later? Nobody knew for certain, and that uncertainty became one of the biggest obstacles in the entire investigation. Years passed, then decades, yet the questions remained. Theories evolved, reports were written, documents were reviewed, new researchers entered the case, and still, no universally accepted answer emerged. Instead, USS Scorpion became one of the most debated submarine losses in naval history, a mystery trapped beneath nearly 2 miles of ocean, waiting, silent, unanswered. But the most controversial theories were still ahead, because some investigators believed they had finally identified the true cause of the disaster. A theory that seemed to explain almost everything. A theory that sounded terrifyingly plausible. For a while, it looked like the mystery had finally been solved. Then another group of experts stepped forward and challenged the entire conclusion. What happened next would keep the debate alive for decades. And it all begins with a weapon USS Scorpion carried herself. A weapon that may have become her worst enemy. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you are ready for the last part of the USS Scorpion story.